you ever wondered where the dreams of an ordinary boy can take him? Meet Phil, a 24-year-old guy who dreamt of changing his life and the lives of millions. He borrowed a few $100s from his father and set out to create a company that would become legendary. Today, its clothing and shoes are worn by students, celebrities, world leaders, and billionaires. The Nike Swoosh holds immense significance within the footwear industry. This colossal brand has solidified its position through impactful endorsements, stylish designs, and highly successful PR campaigns that have made their mark in pop culture. Nike specializes in producing footwear, clothing, and accessories catering to athletes and fitness enthusiasts across a wide range of sports, including running, basketball, soccer, tennis, golf, and virtually any other sport you can think of. Humble beginnings. It all began when Phil Knight went a little crazy. He had a dream of becoming a renowned athlete, but his aspirations were shattered because he was kicked out of the baseball team. Determined Phil refused to throw in the towel and turned to running. Unfortunately, he didn't achieve exceptional results in that pursuit either. Back in the 60s, when Phil was a young fella, running wasn't even considered a sport. Runners were seen as oddballs who were burning energy for nothing. The idea of running simply for enjoyment didn't even cross anyone's mind. Not only were runners fiercely mocked, Adidas was high quality but $30 per pair, while ordinary sneakers cost $5 and made your legs bleed. If professional athletes could afford Adidas, the situation was sad for amateurs. Phil liked the Japanese Tiger sneakers. He believed they would revolutionize the US shoe market. This was in the 60s. Phil was receiving MBA in economics at Stanford. It was at a marketing seminar that Knight came up with the concept for the company, Blue Ribbon Sports. In 1963, Phil Knight went to Japan. He signed a contract on behalf of Blue Ribbon Sports, a company that officially didn't yet exist, with Onitsuka to supply sneakers to the United States. At first, sneakers were sold literally from Knight's own hands or from his minibus. But things drastically changed when Phil showed these shoes to his running coach, Bill Bowerman. Coach loved both the sneakers and the business idea. He immediately entered the sphere. Bowerman was obsessed with athletic shoes. In his garage, he spent days and nights handcrafting and modernizing shoes as lightness was his goal. Bill Bowerman infected the Nike team with a spirit of competition, teaching the guys to work together. A born innovator, he strove to improve everything he laid eyes on. He created light and comfortable shoes for his trainees and set world records. Birth of Nike. Bowerman and Knight entered the business on 50-50 condition. Phil was engaged in product sales, marketing, and advertising. Bill worked on creating new models, the original design of which attracted buyers from different countries and social classes. Later, at the initiative of Bill, the young partner received 51% of the shares of the corporation so that he feels more confident during the negotiations. This played a vital role later, as trust was essential for Phil. In 1965, business income exceeded $20,000. Knight quits his job as an accountant and devotes himself entirely to developing his own business. The result of Bowerman's bold experiment was the legendary Nike Cortez model, which became a symbol of the company. Soon a third player joined the team, a talented manager, Jeff Johnson, responsible for sales. He was also an athlete and understood very well what kind of approach was needed for people from the sports world. Johnson considered runners God's chosen ones and romanticized running as a mystical activity. He was burned by a desire to help each downtrodden runner. Johnson was indeed an enthusiastic marketer. He compiled a database of eminent professional athletes and talked to each one personally. Greek goddess. Have you ever wondered why the sneaker manufacturer is called Nike? Again, one cannot do without the world of dreams and fantasies. The newcomer Jeff once dreamed of the winged ancient Greek goddess of victory herself. Why not name the boots for winners after her? Plus, the name had all the attributes of a good brand name that sticks in the mind of customers. Since 1966, the company ceased being a reseller. Johnson now rents a small room in Santa Monica where he tirelessly works day and night to develop new sneaker prototypes and manually source shoes. The first model was specifically designed for marathon runners. Jeff had the brilliant idea of replacing the bulky leather with lightweight nylon. Created by an athlete for athletes, the innovative design quickly gained recognition. By 1969, Nike had already established several stores and achieved an annual turnover of $300,000. Sales began to grow, and the business extended from a simple resale of other people's sneakers into its own production under the Nike brand. Swoosh. The Nike brand is synonymous with its iconic swoosh. But how did this symbol come to be? In 1971, while Phil was working at a Portland State University, he crossed paths with Caroline Davidson. Recognizing her talent, the brand's founder asked Caroline, a young designer, to create a logo that would embody the concept of constant movement. We need something connected with constant movement. Caroline wasted no time and swiftly presented Phil with a dozen logo options. Among them, Phil chose the swoosh, remarking, "I don't love it, but maybe it'll grow on me." He thanked Caroline with $35. The businessman would reward the designer by presenting her with a commemorative ring in the shape of a swoosh she had created, along with a portion of shares in his corporation. Over time, as a result of stock splits, Caroline would become the owner of 32,000 shares, which were valued at a remarkable $2.8 million. According to a legend, the swoosh symbolizes the wing of the goddess Nike. The swoosh becomes the official Nike logo in 1988, and Caroline Davidson now is recognized as the mother of the swoosh. Gaining traction. Exclusively for the 1972 Olympic Games, the young brand introduced the Moon Shoe sneakers. Bill Bowerman created an innovative waffle cell in his kitchen, borrowing a waffle maker from his wife. The handicraft development would later be called revolutionary due to its usually tight adhesion to the surface and excellent wear resistance. The nylon upper was purchased in Japan, but the waffle sole remains hands-on. Following the Moon Boots in 1973, the Waffle Trainer was released, the best-selling running shoe in the US. Phil understood that he needed the support of both professional and novice athletes for a successful promo. The company invited athletes to cooperate, and in the 1976 Olympics, most of the champions already performed in branded Nike sneakers. Since then, the company has kept sight of any significant competition. Nike sets world records, defeats the strongest rivals, and receives gold medals. In 1977, the company conquered Asia, Europe, and South America. The management mainly focused on producing shoes and developed a line of sportswear and accessories. The ambassadors made Nike running gear the best-selling sneaker in the United States by 1980, the first time the company overtook perennial leader, Adidas. On December 31, 1981, Blue Ribbon Sports was officially renamed Nike. The total number of employees in the company reached 2,700 people. 58 Nike-wearing athletes won 65 Olympic medals at the 1984 Los Angeles Olympic Games, and a year later, the company signed a contract with the basketball player Michael Jordan, a contract that remains valid today. Nike Air. Nike Air technology made athletic shoes more comfortable than ever, bringing billions of dollars in income to its investors. Air was first presented in 1979. Its creator was aviation and spacecraft engineer Frank Prudy. Frank suggested that Nike use an air cushion instead of a rubber tube in the sneaker's sole. The latter didn't compress during the long run and remained soft and springy for a long time, significantly reducing the shock effect during training. The proposal was appreciated, and Nike immediately released innovative sneakers for $50 per pair. A trial batch was presented in Hawaii. In 1978, 230 pairs of sneakers sold out in just a day. The Air Tailwind model entered the West market the following year. But the absolute novelty was tested only in 1987, when Nike designers introduced the legendary Air Max line with a transparent window on the sole, through which a curious buyer could see the shock-absorbing tab. Interestingly, designer Tinker Hatfield was inspired by a trip to Paris to make a transparent window in the sole. In the French capital, he was impressed by the Georges Pompidou National Center for Art and Culture. The tubes of the renowned Babouk Center provided insight for the prominent designer. That's when he conceived the idea of integrating air tubes similar to those on the facade of the Pompidou Center. Tinker Hatfield took part in developing the Airs Max 1, Max 90, Jordan 15 and Jordan XX. Today, Tinker is regarded as a design legend for his creative work. He remains the brand's vice president of design and special projects. Nike and Jordan, collaboration of two legends. In 1985, a significant event happened. A contract was signed with basketball player Michael Jordan, an outstanding athlete. Back then, Jordan was a rookie newcomer to the Chicago Bulls team. Jordan brought a lot to the sport in Nike, in new marketing, design and range. Before, the brand was for runners. Now it breaks into basketball, displacing the legendary Converse sneakers. The new Air Jordans were ahead, even before they hit the shelves, with crowds of impatient shoppers waiting outside the stores on the first day of sale. This accomplishment would have not been possible without some dark PR tactics. The company utilized every ounce of persuasive power to entice the athlete into their fold. Nike, under the guidance of designer Peter Moore, crafted the iconic Air Jordan sneakers in a combination of red, black and white, boldly flouting NBA regulations that stipulated a minimum of 51% white on the shoe. To circumvent this rule, Nike agreed to pay $5,000 fine for every game Jordan played in the sneakers. Furthermore, they offered the athlete a remarkable 25% share of each pair of Jordans sold, a concept previously implemented in tennis but unprecedented in basketball. In addition, the company committed to paying Jordan $2.5 million over the span of 5 years. The contract with Jordan changed the basketball equipment once and for all. The second Air Jordan was sold for $100 instead of the initial $65. In total, the company sold $126 million worth of Air Jordans in the first year of the deal. A new edition of the shoe dropped every year of Jordan's playing career. By the release of the third line, Tinker Hatfield joined Michael. In 1988, they introduced the famous Air Jordan 3, today's most beloved basketball shoes. Michael Jordan made $1.3 billion from his 38-year partnership with Nike. Just do it! Nike is building its empire. Another historical move was the slogan "Just do it," which later became the company's official motto. It may seem hard to believe, but the slogan was inspired by the last words of a murderer. Facing down a firing squad in his last moments, double murderer Gary Gilmore said, "Let's do it." In 2009 documentary Art and Copy, Nike's former marketing chief Liz Dolan confessed that Nike tries not to share the origins of the phrase widely. Nike debuted the slogan in a 1988 commercial about an 80-year-old runner named Walt Stack. The brand's sales subsequently exploded. Since the launch of the large-scale Just Do It campaign in 1988, famous athletes have been enlisted as ambassadors, endorsing not only sneakers but also entire lines of equipment. This global public relations effort was coincided with, and in some cases even fueled, the worldwide trend of fitness and jogging. Consequently, Nike has emerged as the leading producer of sports shoes and clothing on the planet. Part of Nike's success is that we know what we're doing. Our goal is to awaken a desire in everyone interested in sports. We see the athlete in everyone who has a body. Phil Knight. At home in Oregon, Nike established its headquarters with the opening of a 53,000 square foot complex comprising 7 buildings. In 1999, the facility underwent expansion with the addition of the North Campus, which includes 4 buildings and a football field. Currently, this site serves as the workplace for 4,500 employees. With the beginning of the new millennium, the company continued to experiment with technologies to present to its followers not only high-quality, comfortable, but also fashionable equipment. With further expansion in mind and Michael Jordan becoming a household name in 2003, Nike signed basketball legends LeBron James and Kobe Bryant to their roster. This push into basketball would solidify the brand as the leading shoe sponsor with the NBA. In 2004, Philip Knight stepped down as CEO and president, retaining his position as chairman of the board. Knight owns 35% of Nike's assets, valued at $13.9 billion. The Nike founder's net worth today is $42.8 billion. Thanks to the proceeds from his business, Knight donated $105 million to Stanford University, where he received his education. In 2005, Nike signed tennis player Rafael Nadal for sponsorship and eventually his range of clothing apparel. In 2008, Nike acquired the English brand Umbro, mostly known for its famous football kits, for $580 million. This move would further help Nike's takeover of the football market and expand its existing range of football apparel and sports equipment. In 2012 and 2015, Nike became the official supplier of the NFL and NBA, ensuring players, officials, and personnel wore all kits and uniforms. Nike constantly supports athletes. Thanks to this, the company's popularity has snowballed. Nike also maintains its celebrity design collaborations as part of its business strategy. Over the years, the brand has collaborated with Kanye West, Drake, Dior, Swarovski, Louis Vuitton, and Virgil Abloh. Nike today. Today, Nike has approximately 1150 retail stores and 79,100 employees worldwide. The company is the world's largest manufacturer and marketer of athletic footwear and apparel, with a market capitalization of $187.4 billion, worth more than all top 10 sportswear brands combined. The brand has made social outreach and aid one of its core values and does everything in its power to achieve this seemingly unattainable goal. The brand's making a positive impact on communities around the world. The brand has succeeded in standing the test of time on a daily basis. They done it! What is your favorite sneaker brand? Let us know in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe so you can enjoy the excellent content we send your way.